Every once in a while, I really dig in the bag of tricks. I put away everything and I say, listen, we're going to actually do a hands-on training. This is one of those calls. I promise you, more than 50% of you are going to listen to the recording of this call tonight. I'm telling you now, but there's nothing better than a live call. Text your teammate, tag them on the Facebook group, and let them know they need to be on this call. With that being said, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to open it up for questions at the very end. Maybe you'll have a question or two. If you don't, that's fine. I'll take that as a compliment that I did a great job. On tonight's training call, I'm going to read. I'm essentially just going to be reading tonight. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm also going to read you some things that you're going to be able to apply into your business. Remember, tonight's training call is all about how to pique people's curiosity, right? How to pique people's curiosity. And if you're wondering, are we talking about P-E-A-K or P-I-C-Q-U-E? We're talking about the latter. We're talking about piquing people's curiosity. The reason why I wanted to talk about piquing people's curiosity tonight is because I see a lot of us are not piquing people's curiosity. Now, before we get into piquing people's curiosity, and we might as well say piquing our prospects' curiosity, okay? I wanted to read an excerpt from the book Think and Grow Rich because, like I said before, 50% of you are going to want and you will listen to this recording again. But then the other 50% that listen to this training call, you guys are going to have a bunch of reasons and a bunch of excuses, bunch of alibis on why what we're going to train you on tonight isn't going to work for you. So this is for the 50% that are going to listen to this, that are not going to listen to this recording. Here it goes. These are the 55 famous alibis. And at some point or another, the 50% that I'm talking to right now, maybe we can save 10% of them. Maybe we can save 15% by just letting them know we know how you feel about building your business. So let's go. These are the 55 famous alibis by Napoleon Hill. If only I didn't have a wife and family. These are all reasons why someone may believe that they can't build their business. You may know them as excuses, but Napoleon Hill likes to call them alibis. If only I didn't have a wife and family. If only I had enough pull. If only I had money. If only I had a good education. If only I could get a job. If only I had good health. If only I had time. If only times were better. And if only other people understood me. If only conditions around me were different. If only I could live my life over again. If only I did not fear what they would say. If only I had been given a chance. If only I now had a chance. If only other people didn't have it in for me. If only nothing happened to stop me. If only I were younger. If only I could do what I want. If only I had been born rich. If only I could meet the right people. If only I had the talent some people have. And if you hear me chuckle as I'm reading these, I'm only chuckling because I actually had a few of these, and it's funny just reading it again out loud. It's kind of funny. Okay, so where did we leave off? Okay, if only I could meet the right people. If only I had the talent some people have. If only I dared assert myself. If only I had embraced past opportunities. If only people didn't get on my nerves. Gosh. If only I didn't have to keep house and look after the children. If only I could save some money. If only the boss appreciated me. If only I had somebody to help me. If only my family understood me. If only I lived in a big city. If only I could just get started. If only I were free. If I only had the personality of some people. If only I were not so fat. If only my talents were known. If only I could just get a break. If only I could get out of debt. If only I hadn't failed. If only I knew how. If only everybody didn't oppose me. If only I didn't have so many worries. If only I could marry the right person. If only people weren't so dumb. If only my family were not so extravagant. If only I were sure of myself. If only luck were not against me. If only I had not been born under the wrong star. If only it were not true that what is to be will be. If only I did not have to work so hard. If only I hadn't lost my money. If only I lived in a different neighborhood. If only I didn't have a past. If only I had a business of my own. If only other people would listen to me. If only, and this is the greatest of them all, if only I had the courage to see myself as I really am, I would find out what is wrong with me and correct it. Then I might have a chance to profit by my mistakes and learn something from the experience of others. I know there is something wrong with me, or I would now be here, or I would now be where I would have been if I had spent more time analyzing my weaknesses and less time building alibis to cover them. Here's what I know. What I know is that many of those 55 alibis you either say yourself or you hear on the normal basis. That's what I know. Now, the reason why I wanted to read these 55, the famous 55 alibis, is because a lot of us become stuck in our ways. And what I mean by a lot of times we get stuck in our ways is that no matter how much training you get, no matter how many resources, no matter how many tools, no matter how accessible we are for you guys, sometimes, although we state that we have a problem, it doesn't always mean that we want a solution. I'm going to share with you guys tonight one of the main reasons a lot of you get frustrated with your business. I'm going to go over tonight a few solutions that can help you be less frustrated in your business. But it's going to require, it's going to be a give and take, guys. It's going to be me giving you this information, and it's going to be you taking it and being open to change. Listen, guys, one of the main reasons why people don't like to do cold calling, or one of the main reasons why people don't like to go out and meet new people, one of the main reasons is what I'm going to talk about tonight. I'm going to just give you guys the solution. Amy was talking about it on the training call last night that she did, right? She was talking about the training that we had in Raleigh this past event. Well, one of the things that we were talking about is the importance of asking questions to pique people's curiosity. So what I wanted to do is, the reason why I said this is a training call that you're going to want to hear back again is because I'm about to fly through a whole bunch of different curiosity questions that you can formulate, not just to pique someone's interest for the presentation, but I'm talking about in your normal lifestyle. Maybe some of the reasons why you're struggling with keeping people's attention could be solved in what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. A lot of us think it's a personality thing, like one of those alibis. I'm going to tell you right now, what frustrates a lot of us in our business is we're trying to provide a solution for a problem that does not exist. A lot of us are trying to solve problems that don't even exist. I'm going to go to my Facebook page real quick. Sometimes I've been actually quoting myself, which is kind of awkward, and I'm just getting accustomed to. But let me read this before we get into it. Let's see. Okay. I don't think I could find it. That's kind of weird. Oh, here it is. I said there is there is an intangible quality that we all need that can only be obtained through experience. I say that to say what I'm about to share with us, it's not going to be good enough just to write this stuff down and to know this stuff. Like I said before, there's an intangible quality that we all need that can only be obtained through experience. The preface that I started this with, I said that a lot of frustration that we have in this business, it comes through trying to solve problems that don't exist. So, let's get to business. I'm just pulling up my notes here, so just bear with me, guys. Okay, here we go. I'm going to just fly through these. And it's going to be a lot of, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say the first part of the question, and then I'm going to say blah, 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 because I want you to be able to fill it in and use these accordingly in your life. Okay, so I'm gonna do the first one slowly so I can explain, and then you'll know. I have about 40 of these from a book that I'll tell you about a little bit later. But I'm gonna go through about 40 of them. But I want to break down the first one so you guys can understand the rhythm of how this is gonna go. Okay, so the first one is, isn't it time you blah blah blah? Okay? So I hope you guys got it. So, all right. So that's the first one. Isn't it time you blah, 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 blah? And the blah, blah, blah is you fill in the blank. The most powerful part is the part that I'm giving you. Everything else is trial and error. You put your own autograph on it. So isn't it time you blah, blah, blah? When was the last time you blah, blah, blah? Did you know that blah, blah, blah? Are you still blah, blah, blah? Want to keep in touch with blah, blah, blah? Want to stay abreast of blah, blah, blah? Are you interested in blah, blah, blah? Are you curious about blah, blah, blah? Are you intrigued by blah, blah, blah? Will you be ready for the blah, blah, blah? Who could say no to blah, blah, blah? What's the best investment you could make? Could you use an extra blah, blah, blah each month? Do you want a better job? How secure is your job? Why postpone your future in blah, blah, blah? What would you say if we offered to help you blah, blah, blah? Will you risk just $1 to blah, blah, blah? Have you ever stayed awake at night thinking about blah, blah, blah? Do you ever ask yourself blah, blah, blah? How many times have you said to yourself blah, blah, blah? Has this ever happened to you? How long has it been since you blah, blah, blah? Remember the first time you ever blah, blah, blah? Are you secretly afraid of blah, blah, blah? Don't you need blah, blah, blah? Don't you wish blah, blah, blah? Wouldn't you like to blah, blah, blah? Looking for just the right blah, blah, blah? Confused about which blah to buy? Why should you use blah when you can blah, blah, blah? Tired of empty promises from blah, blah, blah? Tired of the same old blah, blah, blah? Why trade a blah for a blah? Why sacrifice blah for blah? Are you ready for blah, blah, blah? Who can put a price on blah, blah, blah? Why pay full price for blah? Are you paying too much for blah? Want to stretch your purchasing power? How can you cut the high cost of blah? How much is your company spending on blah? Are you drowning in a sea of blah? Have you ever thought about blah, blah, blah? What's the most effective way to blah, blah, blah? What's the most profitable blah, blah, blah? What's the safest blah, blah, blah? Do you enjoy blah? Now, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it on up. Here's how we're going to wrap it up. How are we going to wrap it up? Ask me. How are we going to wrap it up, Demetrius? I'm going to tell you how we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up like this. Piquing people's curiosity. Piquing people's curiosity. You want to pique someone's curiosity, right? That's what you want to do. You want to pique their curiosity. One of the most common things that I see us fumble over time after time. And I'm just looking to get 50% of you guys. The other 50%, you guys are going to do what you're going to do regardless. You're going to keep struggling, communicating, and dealing with people for the rest of your life, or until somebody else says it, and then you'll catch it, and then you'll say, wow, he was trying to tell me. I mean, I heard that on a training call. Can you imagine? I heard it on a training call. You know how we get. And it happens to all of us, right? Maybe this is not your time to get it. But I believe in the core of my being, I believe that at least 50% will get it, because I'm going to keep it very simple. So, there's many times where somebody may ask you in our business, they say, well, what exactly do you do? What do you guys do? And I'm sure if I open up the lines right now, we would all say, yeah, people always ask me that. Demetrius, how did you know? I'm going to tell you how I know, because they say the same thing to me. What do you do? What do you guys do? And someone may ask you that in the grocery store. You give somebody a business card while you're getting your nails done, your hair done. Well, what do you do? And you know what I see most people do, and I've been doing this for a while, so I know what we do. Most people, right, most of us say, well, I'm in this company named Ameriplan, and Ameriplan's been around since 1992, and we have this amazing dental plan. And let me tell you about this trainer, Demetrius. He is so fine. Oh, my gosh. He is so good looking. He's a great presenter. He's in the Centennial Club. He's a President's Club member. Oh, my gosh. You got to meet all of these people. They're really, really great people. They have an event coming up. It's in Raleigh. Let me get your number. I'll give you the information. Where are we going? It's $24.95 a month. It's $269. They got this Jumpstart program. It's going to be really, really big. They pay us daily, weekly, and monthly. And, oh, my gosh, you have to know about the founders of the company. They're twins. Oh, my gosh, like one doesn't have a pinky and the other one has a pinky. Oh, my God, you got to, like, really, really meet them. And then they have, like, this Cadillac program where you can win this Cadillac. They got the two-door, they got the four-door, and then they got the truck. Like, they didn't even have the truck before, but now they have the truck. I got to tell you about our national vice president. Oh, my gosh, Lorraine and Kenny, they have this prayer call. Oh, yes, we do believe in prayer on our team. We do. We have prayer call 7 days a week, 6:25 a.m., Oh, my gosh, it's everything. Let me give you the number for that. And then Mondays, we have this call. We have, like, something called a grand opening, a phone grand opening. It's going to be really exciting. Like, you just get people to get on the call. And, yeah. And can I have your number so I can send you my website? Oh, man. My objective right there was to be annoying. And hopefully I did a great job. But that's how most of us sound. And we sound even worse. Like, I've seen people go for like 5 or 10 minutes when people ask that question. What do you do? Well, I'm going to tell you what I say when people ask me what I do. And it serves its purpose to pique their curiosity. You may say, well, that's not going to close them. My chances are higher closing them if I just tell them everything right there. And maybe you're right. No, there's no way that you're right. I mean, unless you're including the fact that even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. I mean, if you're including that, then yes, that may work. But what we're talking about tonight is piquing their curiosity. So let me tell you what I say. When someone asks me, what do? I say this. Well, what do you do, Demetrius? Well, you know how people can't really afford health care? And what are they going to say? We can all, if I open up the lines right now, we'll say, they're all going to say yes. And then I say, well, we help people have access to affordable health care. Does that sound like something you would be interested in? Did I close them? No. Tonight's call is not about closing. The first step before closing somebody is piquing their curiosity so that they at least want to hear you. If they don't want to hear you, you'll never be on the phone or in person long enough for you to close them. Well, yes, what do you do, Demetrius? Oh, you know how people can't really afford health care? Yes. All right, well, we help people have access to affordable health care. Isn't that great? Wouldn't you like to get some more information? What is your number? What's your best email address? Okay, great. That's for the 50% of you that want to get better at piquing people's curiosity. And you know that you say way too much. And if you think that I'm giving you a theory that is not like have been proven, well, why don't you look at everything else? Look at everybody else the way they do business. Look how they do it. It's impossible. Listen to this. You want to write something down? Write this down. It's impossible to see the movie before you see the movie. But what can you see before the movie? You see something that they spend millions of dollars on, and it's called a trailer. I'm not asking you to create a trailer, although you can, especially if you have a MacBook or an iPhone. You can use iMovie and create a little trailer for your business. But I want you to give a trailer, the concept of it is true. You give them just enough so then you can separate and meet again. And then when you meet again, that's another part of closing the deal. But you want to pique their interest. Give them a little trailer. Hey, what do you do? Oh, here's my card. Oh, what do you do? Oh, you know how people can't really afford health care? Well, I help people have access to affordable health care. Another great curiosity piquer is, hey, do you know anyone that's looking for an additional stream of income? Could you use an extra paycheck? I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to close the call, and then I'm going to open it up. But I want to go to the extreme. And many of you who listen to my training calls each week, you know that at times I can go extreme to prove a point. So this is a true story of someone doing too much. It's a sad story, but it's a true story. Doing too much can kill a deal the same way doing too much can kill a woman. I know I've seen a woman die. You guys, everybody knows how the women of today, of this generation, this era, they're getting these big booties, right? They're getting these big, big booties, right? Getting these big, ridiculous-looking booties, and, you know, wherever there's traffic at a thing, right? Wherever the demand is high, suppliers come in to fill that need. But just like I always say, listen, just because you're a doctor doesn't mean that you're a great doctor. Not sure if you guys know this, but a third of the deaths that happen in this world, in this country, are because of malpractice. A third. The number three cause of death is malpractice. So don't tell me, or don't think that I'm going to assume just because you're a doctor, you're a great one. Just because you're a pastor, you're a great one. No, there's just like there's professional athletes, some of them are great and some of them are terrible. There's the good ones and there's the bad ones. Now back to this young lady who's trying to get this big booty because she's trying to get this big booty, but you know what happened? She didn't want to pay the top dollar to go to the great ones that can actually do her butt shot. So what happened to this young lady is, and many others, I'm talking about this one specific one, you know what she did? I'm talking about doing too much, right? Adding, in my opinion, you're doing too much when you're adding things to your body that you didn't earn. That's just in my opinion. You know, if you like fake things, then that's cool. But when it comes to the body, I draw the line. Like, I'd rather a little booty than a fake booty. I'd rather a big duffel bag booty than a fake booty. And that's just me. But back to this girl. Let me tell you about this girl, though. So this girl, she goes to the doctor, a so-called doctor. She gets the price all the way down. And you know what this so-called doctor did to her? He instead of injecting her with the thing that makes her booty big, he injects her butt with cement. Now you may say, well, let me finish the story. To finish the story, obviously, if you don't know what happened to her, she died. I mean, you just think about it. Someone injecting cement in your butt. I mean, for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it feels good. She's in the mode like, oh, I can't wait to show my girl. Can't wait to go to the club. I'm about to go to the club. What is this? And just imagine cement being stuck into your butt. Imagine how that death happened. The moral of the story is, some of us are doing too much. Doing too much can kill you. If it's not going to kill you physically, it'll kill your business. So for those of you that are doing too much, every time you're talking for way too long, every time you give, you know when you're giving too much information. You know it. And if you didn't know it before this call, you know it now. Every time you feel yourself giving somebody too much information, I want you to remember that girl who got her butt injected with that cement from the fake doctor and how she died. That's what you're doing to your business. You're killing your business when you're doing too much. I'm going to open up the lines, see if anybody has any questions, and then we will get out of here. Does anybody have any questions on piquing people's curiosity, piquing your prospects' curiosity? Any questions? Going once? Going twice? All right, fantastic.
Hey, Ma! I'm on TV!